Alright, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a deck profile, one of my favorite decks. The first deck that I ever built. Sadly, I never got to use it at full power because by the time I got into the game, there was no locals. I think I only used it like once or twice on DV grinding just because the combos took forever. You know, it's faster doing it in person on the computer. It just takes forever for me, so I always play like other decks. But it's still a good deck. I still play it, and shit, I got like a 15-game win streak on DB grinding using his rocks. But then again, I'm not like a high-rated DV player because I only play here and there, and I don't like sitting down in a computer for hours, so I don't play that much on DB grind. I'd rather play in person. I still haven't gone to a tournament. I'm still waiting on that. But let's just get to the deck profile. Of course, you gotta play the analyzer. Analyzer, my dumbass. Researcher. The deck's a standard, have a rock, special summon. And excavate 5. This deck is pretty much on your, depending on what you excavate, it depends how far you'll go on the board that you set. Sometimes you set crappy, sometimes you don't, sometimes you just get lucky and just keep hitting shit and you just make a crazy ass board. Same thing with Researcher. You have another admancipator card in deck, special summon. I'm pretty sure y'all already know it. All of them have the same effects. This Cyber Dragon in the deck, excavate, must 3 of. Nah, I do play a lot of extenders. I don't play the prank kids. I haven't really tried it, and I don't have all the cards. I usually build decks on the cards that I have, but I do have the Midolce. It's called Petting Sewer. No monsters in your grave, special summon. And again, just a standard. If you don't really draw in the beginning of your turn, then they kind of crap. But usually, like when I play, I only had like a brick one time out of every 5 or 10 matches, I guess. I don't know. I usually hardly ever brick. But yeah, it's a bunch of extenders. Then performer hat tricker, 2 more monsters, special summon. Like all you need is a few combination of these cards and you're pretty much set to go. Very good card, right? This is a very good card. I highly recommend. Parallel XCs. You know, special summon if the link need a fiber or you summon Amirage. Any type of leak monster, special summon. Now to the rocks. Actually, I guess you could consider Quackumero Supplier as an extender as well, because if a rock monster goes to the grave, you can special summon this and then search the Guardian to your hand. I guess you consider it an extender as well. And there's also a rock. So my next set cards are going to be your excavated cards that you want to excavate. This you could run as a 3 of if you want, but I think 2 is just good. And Quackumero Guardian comes in clutch, especially if you just open this in the analyzer. I mean, not an analyzer, the researcher. Comes in clutch. You know, negate effects. Forget about that. Doki Doki. Use it for Amirage. And also his effect. You usually just want to excavate this and, you know, make fucking Herald of the Arclight or some shit. which just to extend your plays. And one Tackle Crusader. This actually comes in clutch. Actually, I beat a virtual player a few times with this card. You know, send it to the graveyard. The set spell. Say it go back to your hand, or you put a monster in face down defense position. Only play one of the Dragite and a admancipator Dragite. Special summon, draw a card. I'll also use if you have a fire engrave. I guess I'll show you the combo later. But if you have a fire engrave, you use the synchro of the fire one, special summon this on your opponent's turn, draw a card. Or if you have like Dragoon, but you have no cards in hand, but you have the fire monster and Dragoon, use the effect of the fire admancipator researcher, special summon this, draw a card. Now Dragoon is active. And this card, I hardly don't see people play it, but very, very good card. Send it to the grave. You can get Researcher, Analyzer, any of your rock monsters back to your hand. And come in clutch. And then it has a second effect if this card is banished from the field, you can send rock. Yeah, it's like a Foolish Burial. If it's banished, send a rock monster from your deck. But yeah, good card. Highly recommend playing it. And of course, Admancipator Signs, a must. And then for the hand traps, 3 Ash Blossoms. I don't know what I was gonna say. 3 Ash Blossoms. You know, that's multiple uses to negate. And also to put that fire engrave. And I have 2 infinite impermanents and the effect veiler. I don't have a 3rd infinite. If I did, I would play it. Usually I play Gamma and I play the Gamma package, but I'm using it on another deck, so I just threw this in for now. But you can use any hand traps you want. I recommend the Gamma, but people have been slipping on this card. It's been coming in clutch. And I also play the Dragoon package. Like I said, this won me a lot of games because they use all their hand traps, and I'm usually always end with 2 monsters on the field. Damn near guaranteed. So that they use all their hand traps trying to stop my board, and then I just make fucking Predator and Verter and Anaconda, summon Dragoon, and they're pretty much fucked most of the time. And now for the extra deck, the only fusion, Dragoon, like I said, comes in clutch. Especially at rocks, people don't really expect it as much. Like I said, they use up all their hand traps trying to stop me from creating a board. And then, you know, use the end of at least 2 monsters on the field, guaranteed. You just make this Gallant Granite. If you open up a bad hand, and if you're willing to risk it, you can summon this. Comes in clutch sometimes. Abyss Dweller, if you go in a virtual world. Usually if I don't know what they're playing, and if I'm going first, I usually always summon this just in case. Comes in clutch. And then for my links, got an IP Mascara. For your Pelosa, Predator Plant, Verter, and Anaconda for the Dragoon. Fiber, which is I find myself not really, I still use it, but you don't really need to anymore, but it's there for your Savage. And Settlement great if you're trying to put a fire on board and you didn't drew no ash, you know, it's a good way to put a fire on board. Access Code Talker for OTKs, but I don't really see. A lot of times I forget about this card, to be honest, but I don't really summon it. Every now and then I see myself summon it, or just to get an OTK, just to make sure I get the kill shot I summon it. But to be honest, I hardly summon this guy. Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess for that what's that deck called? Ditrons and black card deck with a bunch of monster effects. Now this card right here, Underworld, Goddess of the Closed World. I used this against the VFD a few times, and because as long as you summon 4 monsters and use the 5th one on theirs, and again, it's not an effect, it's a summoning. It's part of the summoning, so they can't negate it. And with this deck, it's very easy to summon 4 monsters and then just use the 5th of the VFD. And like I said, usually when they use VFD, they call light, so you won't use gamma or some shit. But you can still special summon from your hand quite easily, as long as it ain't light. But yeah, I use this against VFD plenty of time on monsters that I don't really have way outs. I summon. Yeah, it's crazy. This card right here is crazy. Now for the Synchros, Leonite. It's a very good card to get your signs, your researcher, researcher, and what's the other ones? And seeker, because extend, depending on if you haven't used their effects. Because a lot of times you're using Reptite and you special summon into the field, so you can still use the special summon from your hand effect if you haven't used it already. And Reptite, most of it is just to extend. This right here, you clear boards and negate spells and traps. This card is very good. Then Savage, and Herald. It's Herald. And I guess I'll do some test hands. And I don't have the extra deck, because a lot of those cards that I use, I have it with other decks. And I just figured if tournaments do come back, I'll just grab them from the other deck to, make an extra deck. But you can put hand traps, whatever you want to put on there. But yeah, let's go to the test hands. Do me like that. Everything we've been through, and this is how you act. Just know that's it, there's no going back. Fuck you, little bitch, we're done, and that's that. It's over. Fuck that bitch, it's finally over. Fuck that bitch, it's finally over. Fuck that bitch, it's finally over. A little birdie told me that you did me dirty. No way, no how you wouldn't hurt me. Dug deeper and the truth was disturbing. No call, no show, can't be earned. The disrespect, but you gonna get intense. Full circle love, now I gotta be more careful. This time and age don't mean shit to be faithful. Fuck these hoes, knock them down, alphabetical. What you expect to sympathy, get off my line, ho. Said it was a mistake, didn't look it in that video. Or said over an argument, didn't think you ever sink this low. Your mama's a well-known slut, should've known you'd be identical. I will admit the wound is deep, I really trusted you. This late night talks over the balcony after fucking you. Things will never change, should've never put my faith in you. Time to move on to better things, not including you. How you gonna do me like that? Everything we've been through, and this is how you act. Just know that's it, there's no going back. Fuck you, little bitch, we're done, and that's that. It's over. it's finally over. Fuck that bitch, it's finally over. How you gonna do me like that? How you gonna do me like that? Fuck that bitch, it's finally over. Fuck that bitch, it's finally over. Fuck that bitch, it's finally over. It's over. It's over. Fuck that bitch, it's finally over. Dro, it's a long time coming. D4S. I got the homie Don Green in this bitch. People doubted all my life, said I won't be. I'm just tryna live my life like a movie. Took me a while to realize why they hate me. Cause they doubt themselves, and that ain't me. People doubted all my life, said I won't be. I'm just tryna live my life like a movie. Took me a while to realize why they hate me. Cause they doubt themselves, and that ain't me. Nah, that ain't me. You, yeah, it might be. Music doing number shit, I guess I think they like me. Shooting movies like I'm Spike Lee, be like water. Shout out Bruce Lee when they see me, gotta stop. Kinda like a Bucky's mind fried, like Kentucky's chicken flipping, like I'm in the kitchen tripping, like I'm paint sniffing, searching like I miss some, trying to smoke with no light or none, just to find the line in your pocket. Haven't got the message, stay in school with your retarded ass. Tired of holding back, I'm about to crush it like a coke can. D4S reppin', you can say that I'm the spokesman. All the C is hooligans, they calling up the law, man, but I'm more than just a thug. I can't be scrubbed beneath the ruckus, even gangsters need love. You can't pass me like bud, I'm a bounce about to blow. Trust me, I'm no stud, I'm for real though. Music's my career, ho. I pimpin' pins, collect that mucho dinero. People doubted all my life, said I won't be. I'm just tryna live my life like a movie. Took me a while to realize why they hate me. Cause they doubt themselves, and that ain't me. People doubted all my life, said I won't be. I'm just tryna live my life like a movie. Took me a while to realize why they hate me. Cause they doubt themselves, and that ain't me.
I don't care what these other people think of me. I'm too busy counting my money. Cause I'm a boss, making power moves. It don't cross my mind what these roaches do. And that's the truth, and I stand by it. Talk is too cheap, why you niggas gossip? Success isn't how you feel. Used to be broke, shopping at Dollar Tree, and things have changed for the better. Life is too cold, that's why I rock polo sweater. Fuck these hoes and foes, you know how it goes, never froze. I'm a player for sure, cause I'm done green, making money. If you ain't talking fetty, don't talk to me. I'm done green, making money. If you ain't talking fetty, don't talk to me.
People doubted all my life, said I won't be. I'm just tryna live my life like a movie. Took me a while to realize why they hate me. Cause they doubt themselves, and that ain't me. People doubted all my life, said I won't be. I'm just tryna live my life like a movie. Took me a while to realize why they hate me. Cause they doubt themselves, and that ain't me.